All right, thank you for joining us here today. This is Spring 2018 UAT Game Studios Milestone Review and Retrospective. So welcome online students, give them a hand. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, Derek Clark, take it away.
You want to unfreeze this?
Oh, that's a good idea.
All right, as always, a few announcements. We'll try to get through that as quick as we can, and then get to the reviews. So things to kind of look out for. Obviously, this weekend is the Global Game Jam. Adam's not in the room. Last night when I looked, there's 68 people signed up on the Global Game Jam website. Not sure how many are signed up on the Eventbrite. If you are planning on participating and you have not signed up, please take the time to sign up. It looks, like when the Global Game Jam sends us things and stuff like that, having those numbers does help. So if you're not going to participate, don't sign up just to pad the numbers. But if you are going to participate, please go ahead and take the time to sign up. It takes all of a couple minutes. It's not really that big of a deal. That way the numbers are good. Adam's done a lot of work to get this one going. I know there's 50-some pizzas coming in. There's Soylent drinks that are here. There's cookies and snacks and all kinds of stuff going on. So, always when we do a Global Game Jam as well, there's people coming in from outside. Please be welcoming. Also, I believe we should have the day porters here, so there'll be somebody here cleaning up trash and stuff like that. That being said, this is our turf, our campus, so if you see something, pick it up, right? If you see trash or you see 17 cups sitting around or something like that, just take a couple minutes, pick it up, take it to the cafe or whatever, because we want to make a good impression on people. So I know the last time we were at a game jam, and I'll take part of the blame, but we came in here, we did the awards, and we sent everybody on their way. And Adam, my two boys, and myself went out to the Commons and picked up a couple dozen plates, like 40 cups and stuff like that. And it's like, really, guys? You're almost adults. So pick up after yourselves. But also, like I said, if you see something, don't run up to people and steal their cups and say, no, I'm putting this away. But keep the plates kind of looking nice.
We're the only Global Game Jam site in Arizona.
In Arizona, yep.
Right.
Farthest I've heard, somebody Twitter messaged me about a week ago, and they've also talked to Adam. Somebody's driving down from Vegas to go to our game jam. Adam looked, there is one in Nevada, but I'm not sure where it's at. So maybe it was just farther away because Vegas is down at the bottom of the state. But yeah, there's lots of people coming in. So make a good impression, help, and then network. And one thing I was looking at is, if I were going to game jam, you can go through and see, who's coming in, right? Like who's registered. You can click on it, and a lot of people have filled out their little profile and they say, hey, I worked on this or I'm doing that. You can network at these events as well. Now, you don't want to bug them the entire time, but you're like, you see it's like, oh, this guy, is an artist, and, so take your time, do your research, because you can use that as a good opportunity. So that's this weekend. Jumping down to something that's down here, we are going to meet back in here today at 4:45 to wrap up the day. Adam's going to come in and do kind of a preliminary, here's what to expect in the game jam for just us. Then at 5 o'clock, the game jam starts. So you can go ahead and sign out, at 4:30 to 4:45 when we meet back up in here. And then we're rolling over into the game jam. But make sure you get everything done before then. So it does shorten the day a little bit. Lynn has a beautiful order to this. I'm just going to jump around all over the place. In order to help facilitate that, though, because this is a build day and a milestone day, we are still going to have the leads meeting, but we're not going to do formal discipline meetings. We're not going to take that time out. But if you do have questions or need help or something like that, come and grab us. We can still do the purpose of the discipline meeting. But between the shortened day and the build and the testing and everything we want to get done, we'll go back to them next week. We're not just barring the meetings, but keep that in mind. Then that wraps up on Sunday at 5 o'clock is when the judging is. So even if you're not participating, you can come in for that event as well. It's a good way to kind of network. You can watch my children rip apart college students and make them cry. My oldest walks around with a paper and rates games 1 to 10. He gives 1s. He's brutal. He'll give a 9. I think somebody got a 9. Maybe I get a 9.
Uprooted got a 9 last time.
Yeah, from last time instead. He's mean. That kid's nasty. Okay, GDC. Obviously, GDC is coming up. We are investigating. I can't promise anything right now, but we are investigating taking the UAT van over to help alleviate transportation. Not the most comfortable ride, but it's free. So if you're in the kind of like, I can afford the pass, but I just, I don't have the money for a plane ticket or a drive over, we're going to see what we can do. In order to do that, though, we do need to get kind of a preliminary interest / head count to kind of go and look at budgets and stuff like that. We are coming up on some deadlines, so if you are interested or know of other UAT students that are interested, have them email Lynn by Monday so we can kind of get that information together. If you are planning on going to GDC, you haven't bought your passes yet, the 31st, next week at midnight, actually it's on the website, it says 11:59, so don't let it roll over to midnight, the prices go up. For the Expo Pass, that means another $100. Goes from like $149 to $249 or something like that. For the bigger passes, it's not a bigger increase. So if you are planning on going and you haven't bought your passes yet, make sure you do that. I'm hoping we'll have a preliminary yes or no next week on whether we can take the van or not. I know it's not ideal. Like if you rush out and buy a pass and we're like, well, we're not taking the van, good luck, hope you get there. That being said, every year for GDC, there's tons and tons of people that go over. If you kind of do a little bit of advertising, you can probably find some people that are driving over that you might be able to cut a deal with, or 4 or 5 of you get together and take one car. It's not a short drive, but it's not prohibitive. Flying's better, but more expensive. Comic-Con is coming up. Right now, I don't think we have anything we're officially doing. I sometimes get invited to speak, sometimes not. We'll see what happens there. But mark your calendars for that. And then other game conferences, evidently there's a link. I think that hits most of the eventy type stuff. Any questions on any of that?
So just a couple quick comments. It is first come, first serve. There are limited seats in the van, so make sure you get your email to me. And again, we can't promise anything until we get our approval.
We'll try to get it quick, though. I mean, we might be able to pull it off by the 31st, but it's going to be tight. That's what, Wednesday, I think? I think Wednesday's the 31st. Okay, so mention some of this stuff. Make sure that you get everything done today. Make sure you get your Axosoft and all that kind of stuff confirmed. There is a milestone grade now, so make sure that we have the standalone executable. I'm working with Jeremy to put the cafe machines into kiosk mode, and we're going to put as many of the executables out there as we can. Obviously, some things are prohibitive, like the VR stuff. We could put it on there, but we don't have a helmet on the machine, so it's going to be, not so much. But I did talk to them, and I've got frontline permission to set up the machine out in the small commons with their guys' stuff, so we should be able to put it out there. I'm hoping to get that stuff up and running next week. Lynn and I are working on a easier way of doing this. Last time we did it, we just took flash drives to Jeremy and he just copied the files off. We're looking to put up a repository and stuff like that. Play testing today. As part of your requirements for grades, make sure you play test at least 2 other games. If you are, part of the build team, make sure that you have it up and running on multiple machines so that people can play. One machine with a line isn't the most ideal situation. Please do this. One of the things that is really, really important is to get outside perspective on what you're building. It's really easy to get tunnel vision and get this kind of, well, we've been building it, and you start to make assumptions, or you think something's there that's not really there, right? Or it's just not well communicated. And getting somebody from outside, I would argue today's playtest may be one of the most important ones we're going to do internally, because a lot of people will see your stuff for the first time. In the next playtest, they've probably seen it before or know more about it, so they're more familiar with it. So please participate and get that kind of stuff in.
So 281 folks, you absolutely need to put your comments in the sprint log today. you are going to take that hour and do the playtesting. It is a required event for you, so you're going to put your hour in there for playtesting, but I do want notes from you on at least 2 of the games that you've played other than your own.
Lynn's got it on the schedule somewhere.
Somewhere.
I can't remember what time it is. Make sure you're doing your social media stuff, both following us and setting up your own things, 3:30 to 4:30.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So make sure you're set up for that, by 3:30. By 3 probably. Executable. YouTube channel. Social media.
The usual.
Twitter. Lots of Twitter. I think that's it besides the schedule. So.
Great.
Any questions? Yes, sorry, Frank.
So, for those of us in the older generation, is there someone who can show me how to use Twitter?
I can, just grab
Wonderful.
it. I became a follower of Twitter. It's not hard. Actually, it's really easy now because you have 280 characters. So it's writing novels.
Is there anything that I need to make sure to get, anything that I need to make sure to get done ahead of time, so we'll have to leave by about 1:30 to 2 o'clock?
Just make sure, again, get your sprint logs in. Need to work on, maybe talk to one of the teams and see if you can test early. And then
Make sure you're tasked up for the next week, so you've got plenty of time.
make sure everything gets approved and things like that.
Sprint planning
And then
is
just
today.
report accurately. Like I said, I don't have a problem. I mean, if it becomes a habitual issue, we'll have a problem. But if one day you're not here, you have to leave early. I'm leaving early today. I've got a school event with my kids I'm going to tonight, so I'll probably leave around 3:30 or 4. Things happen, we understand it. Just don't be dishonest, right? Don't have somebody else put 5:30 on your sheet even though you weren't here.
Yes, do you
Any other
remember that 3 strikes policy? We are kind of on that this
I'm just looking
semester,
to kick
so
somebody out.
if you falsify your documentation, that's very bad.
Just waiting for the first team that doesn't have a build.
Oh. Okay, you
You and I have
ready
a project we can launch at any time. Trust me.
to go? All right, very quick, sir?
I think that's
Got
it
everything?
for me.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to today. Just in walking around over the last couple weeks, I've already seen some great stuff up and running. Thank you for taking the get playable going and let's play stuff seriously. Obviously, with everything, this is still a learning environment. So if something goes completely wrong today, you may hear us live just stop and say, okay, what do we learn from this? Because that's the point of doing stuff here. And obviously some of the games are different, right? Like, I talked to Austin and his team, we're not setting up the VR for this run. We might in the future. I might bring the backpack in here. Yeah. But making a video for that is absolutely fine. Donald's in another situation where, they could set up a card table and do a live demo, but, having imagery and pictures and stuff is definitely important. But what I've been seeing so far is good. I heard a lot of people were up late last night. I do have one question for you. How many people came in here this week and tested your build on this machine?
We're going to know.
We got one. Yeah, you guys don't have to. So it's those kind of things you always want to think about, right? Like, demo demons will get you every time. And it's like, last night you could have had it out in the commons running and everything was perfect. You come and put it on here and it doesn't work and you don't know why. Those kind of things happen. So, that's the kind of tips and stuff. As things go wrong, we'll kind of mention them. But, always go and run on the machine that you're going to actually demo on is a good thing. Now, on the plus side, this machine is one of the newer machines. Like, we can run VR off this machine in here now. So, we don't have to bring in extra machines. This machine in here is strong. All right, I'm going to quit talking so we can get to the builds.
Okay.
Buzzkill first?
Yeah, Buzzkill, come on out. Now, every lead, please note that UAT Game Studios is logged on to Google. So make sure you don't shut that down or we're going to lose our live stream and our recording.
So don't use Chrome.
Don't use Chrome.
Or Chrome. Use Firefox.
All right.
Yeah, please don't shut our stream down. That's happened in the past.
Do adjust your camera too. We'd love to see your entire face.
I just want to see the
And make sure you're giving your names, your name of your project.
Okay.
As the lead in.
Where's our thing at?
Yeah, there's a zip file right there. You have to unzip it.
It is barren again.
Which one?
Let's go.
You tell me what to go with too.
Project set. Project where? Adam. Over here. Where's she?
I can't tell. Was it unzipped?
Yeah, it is unzipped.
Okay.
So
2017.3.
7.3.
That was point 1.
That's point 1.
Yeah.
Oh.
So search bar.
Search bar.
Unity.
Yeah, there it is. Point 3.
Do we have Unity 1.3 on here?
No idea.
Okay, cool.
Well, we could try 1 point.
Well, both of them are open.
Yeah.
So,
Close 5.
Close
It's not gonna
5.
run
It
5.
should have all the same stuff.
Close-
except
close
the
that one.
comments.
Alright, gotcha.
We don't see 2017.3, which is out in the comments, but not here.
Yeah.
Or at least we don't see it, so we can try it on this one at least.
Might not have
Yeah.
finished. See, you just proved my points. Come in the night before and check. Although
Yeah.
I still could have fixed it then.
No.
Please, no.
Nothing.
oh no.
Where is it?
Let's get it in.
Yeah.
It's a point 3 build, you know, work on point 1.
Yeah, they should be able to go back and forth unless they did VR.
Okay.
Mm.
No.
Alright.
Why is it taking so long?
Now you just have to hope that
Why?
the Unity login authenticates.
Why it's
Yeah.
logging in. Well, I do this also. Okay. Why it's loading up, I will introduce who's up here with us today. I'm Caitlin Kohler. I'm the designer and artist on Buzzkill. Next we have Tyler, who's also a designer and artist, and then we have one of our other members who hasn't been in the game studios before, Adam. He's a programmer. So he's helping us out. Oh God.
Try opening a new one.
A new Unity?
I like we made the rookies go first, so all the bad things happen to them.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
Let's close the other one.
Yeah. My account. Projects. No.
Open to the right.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Try.
Wait. Maybe oh yeah, I didn't unzip this thing.
Oh my God. Tyler.
What? I'm sorry.
Tyler.
I'm getting kind of nervous. There's big people right in front of us.
Go one up to 7 zip to extract all.
Alright. Yeah, there we go.
We could all avert our eyes.
Yeah, can y'all
Everybody looks slightly to the right.
yeah, like close your eyes for like 2 seconds. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have this thing up.
We're only having a major problem because our lead programmer is not here.
Yeah.
Okay, so just close that file explorer because you're
Close it.
Okay.
Close it.
Okay, I'm closing it. Closing it.
And then go to desktop. Quick access desktop. Okay, nope. Go back to open. No.
Okay. There you go.
Open right there. Desktop. And then
Yeah.
Buzzkill Master.
Yeah.
Select folder. Continue. And then we get to watch the monkey crank the engine as Unity opens it up.
Hopefully.
Different version. So it reveals all the library
I'm
files.
sorry. I was getting really timid.
I brought you up because you know some things about Unity.
I did.
You did? What? How do you forget?
Yeah, you were able to set it back up on your computer, weren't you?
Yeah, I was able to set it back up on my computer, yeah. Alright.
I'm only up here. I have no recollection.
Huh?
Why didn't I look at this the other day?
What?
Nothing.
Alright. Alright. Alright, ready?
Okay, that will be your guys' thing.
Alright, what's happening?
This is you and Adam's turf.
Alright. So far, our build includes the basics, because we have our play store right here, which is our B person. Our B person right here in the middle. And we have our placeholder background, so to say. And then we have our three lanes set up. And Adam here programmed, and Nico programmed so far for the B to move up and down on the keyboard using
3 lanes.
Yeah, between the 3 lanes using W and S or the up and down arrows.
There you go.
So far there are no enemies placed, but we will be getting to work on that next.
We're also currently working on the art. Me and Naomi have some of the animations for Ego done. Mostly Naomi has that. I'm working on the enemies themselves. We hope to have that up and running by our next build.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know much about this because I wasn't informed on this by our lead programmer.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know what to say.
Basically, we're learning a lot today. Basically, just fill in with the rest of our team to see what's up with our project and not embarrass ourselves right in front of the big people right here.
We just did.
Yeah. Being timid little things with big eyes staring at us. Yeah.
Empire.
Look at the audience, thank them for their time. And
Yeah.
say bye.
Yeah, what's the, okay, yeah, thank y'all.
Tyler. I don't know how to get out of this.
Yeah, just exit out.
Don't press exit on anything else.
Reviews in the past, so don't do that.
Anywhere. Set up right there if you want to. Yeah, actually, you got this. So, hello, Dakota Stoner. We're working on Gangs Graffiti. This is the build. For this build, we tried to get multiplayer done as much as we could before today, and get a nice little map level to play on. You good?
Yeah.
Okay. One moment.
You can post it.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, that didn't start.
Oh.
So, it's kind of a crude UI. Is just what we use for this build. Basically, it kind of, for our matchmaking, what it does is, at the moment we can't show a list of games that are populating our build, but basically it just acts like a quick search. So I'm on the client end, so if I'm just searching for a game, it just automatically pops into the one game that's open. So everybody has to ready up. Wait. Hit stop.
Okay.
Yeah, let me ready up first. Oh.
You host. You good?
Yeah. There we go. So, the
Hey.
screen's kind of small, but
We got the able to spawn in more than one from different computers. The camera right now, this isn't completed. This isn't what we're going to be keeping. We had a really nice orbit camera working really good, but the way the matchmaking is set up, we couldn't get that to work over there, so we just have this one for now. But next week, we're going to be getting the camera working a lot better, tanks driving better, and working on getting actual game mechanics in to be able to shoot at each other. Thank y'all.
Hi everybody, Ian here. I am project lead for Firebreak. And for our first build, we've also got a lot of foundation stuff put in place. So we repurposed our demo level that you guys had all seen earlier into an early alpha sort of debug level. So instead of it all being completely gray and white, we've got a little bit more color to it where you can actually see the floor different from all of our walls. Our doors are currently being debugged to just be this little block. When you get next to it, it disappears. You can go through it and all that. And although you cannot rotate your character and have it track the mouse, you can still fire balls around. Unfortunately, there's no one else to shoot at. We don't have our solid AI in place. But a lot of it was optimizing our code in C++, so that way everything runs a lot smoother. A lot of our changes also involve getting a couple of our assets put into place. So we just put on some materials for a few of the assets that we have populating our level right now. All of it's kind of close, so that way you don't need to go too far to see it. And that's a majority of what we got. And in terms of functionality, Derek, I don't know if this one will be important for you, but we don't have a kill command for the program, but that's okay. There's a wonderful one built in. It's called Alt F4. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the first build. It's going to be a lot of foundation stuff. We hope to get a white box for our first level in place, and the player ship that you can do, as well as going between levels. Maybe a little bit of preliminary AI to fight with, and maybe even a couple more fully implemented environment assets by the time we roll around week 6. Hope to see you then, though.
Hello everybody, I'm Donald Shepis. I am the team lead for Trident. And being a physical game, well, I'll just dive right into it. Page 1. Players. In a typical game, I'm kidding, I'm not going to go there. So what we have for Trident, being a physical game, we're not going to be able to show you a build. So what we're going to be doing is, I know we're going to be doing some playtesting with all the other teams today, but we want to be a little more involved. So what we're going to be asking is for 5 volunteers from across the teams. You're going to want to talk to your leads because we're probably going to have to steal you for the whole day, because it's not exactly something that we can have you play for 30 minutes and then you've actually played it. We'll probably cover the intro in the first 30 minutes and then get everybody to go through a couple of rounds and see how the new gameplay systems are going out. So our first iteration for Trident was working on the conventional units. So we've got a new rule set for the conventional units. We've got things like them being able to combine fire with the Tridents, being able to combine fire with different types of units. So before, you could only have your army shoot at the Leviathan with all your other armies. Now we've got rules for how does the army and the navy fight together. How does the army and the navy help the Trident? And we've also got some new units in there. So that's what we're primarily focusing on with our playtest. So again, talk to your leads, because I know you guys have a lot of tasks that you need to be working on. But we like to get 5 people. That way we have 4 people playing the Tridents, and for the first time, we have somebody who's not me run the Leviathans. So we can see how people play on both sides. Thank you for your time, and if at any point you're not doing the 5 that are playtesting with us, just come on by. We'll be down by the window in the Commons, and you'll be able to at least see some people playing it. Thank you.
Hi, Jerry. Oh, real quick, I need to delete a file. Cool, so I'm Todd, this is SiegeBots. So, got most of what we've done is like background stuff to improve efficiency in the state machine running, because before it would cause a lot of lag and things of that nature, and a couple of minor tweaks here and there. So we're just gonna build a bot and see what happens. I'm shaking. It's really nervous up here.
You will find Todd.
What? Thanks. Appreciate it. So the bot automatically gets loaded into the state machine editor. We're having a couple issues right now with multiple bots, which I think I fixed, but it's not in this build. But yeah, you can just pull up the actions and change what's in there. We do need to work on like displaying the full name of the functions, because right now void isn't very descriptive. No one knows what's going on. But yeah, we can have all the different actions for all of the different parts. And I spelled action wrong on the button, so that's nice. See. See, I just, again, the simple state machine I've been using for all of these so far. Super simple. So this is the test level that Jerry made, and all this nice art assets. You can put down a couple of bots on different teams and kind of just start them up. And they no longer go into each other, so that's nice. They have physics enabled. But yeah, that's about it. They will eventually kill each other. Yeah. Really epic bot battles.
It's more exciting than that epic giant robot game they did all the time.
Battles of history. Top 10. Top 10.
Yeah. I think red team is probably going to win.
Just a little bit.
I want to play like that red and just watch everybody kill each other.
Top 10 animated trails.
He's a healer boss.
Cool. So that's. Did I close it? So that's kind of what happens, I guess. Yeah, that's the build. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Alex Wall. I'm lead for Random Rebellion. For this sprint, we worked on a lot of basically optimization and cleaning up some stuff and adding new weapons in, because a lot of our characters didn't have weapon models, so we added all of that. And then we also worked on kind of our looping cycle for when you're going into a game, you go into a lobby, you then play the game, and then when you're done, you have an end game loop and then loops back so that players can then press play again to start a new match. What I'm not able to show off in this build is we actually created an installer for the game, so we can actually install it onto computers. I can't show it off on this computer because I need admin access, and we all know how that goes. One of our programmers, Chase, he has been working on basically most of our UI systems, and he got our register working, and then if you forget your password, this pops up and you can start recovering your passwords. Join. One of the major features I want to show off today is Matthew Dubois, who is one of our character artists. Actually created this new model for us. It's our assassin model. So we got that in, and then he has weapons, so our daggers. This is one of the models that John Goodall made for the game. Another thing that we've been working on is, like I said, optimizations. So a lot of the levels and a lot of the assets that are in our level got revisited, and we actually probably cut down our scene by 20 million tries, I believe it was. So our game runs a lot smoother, and then also we've been working on lighting and trying to get rid of like a lot of our hard shadows and optimize lighting, because lighting can also affect how the game runs. For our next sprint, we kind of want to focus more on trying to get the end game loop finished, because it's not quite fully in yet, and then we also want to work on bug fixing, because there's a lot more bugs that we have to go through and fix, and then we want to start getting new UI assets in so we can get rid of all of the programming assets out of there. And yeah, that's pretty much all we've been doing.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Austin Harrington. I'm the lead designer for Monster Vault Entertainment. Let me just go ahead and pull up some videos real quick. So I'm going to start showing off one of our environments. This is our reactor environment. We showed a little bit of this at our pitch. It has undergone significant revision. The room's about twice as big now. The reactor has been lit. Obviously, the look of the environment has changed a lot. We're still playing with what we want the game to look like. And so right now it's looking more Borderlands. I don't know if it stays that way. We're still kind of playing with it. On the back wall, you see there is a number and a symbol. You see ugly clip art that is blooming. That is there as a placeholder, but we needed to start getting our gameplay in, and so we were trying to figure out what was the best way that we could show our procedural sequencing for our game. As some of you may remember, this is a game about giving and receiving instructions. So there's a boss, there's 3 employees. The boss has to take instructions, give them to the employees have to carry out those instructions. So we're showing both sides of that right now. We have a number and a piece of clip art on the back wall that is denoting where in a sequence that an image exists. Each one of the images that's showing up on the back wall is associated with one of these buttons. Basically what we're showing is that we have a win-lose condition for these sequences. So if you press all the buttons in the right order, you complete the sequence. If not, you're going to have to redo it. That's cool, but it's kind of a small scale. And so we went ahead and built it out so that we have 140 individual buttons with individualized clip art. I believe this is the video. That's my lead programmer, Alex's voice. So you can kind of see we're looking at what the sequences are, and we've added in teleportation movement. This is not our finalized movement system, but we do have movement around the environment that we wanted to show off. So Alex is looking for the hummingbird that was in that sequence, and I believe, what was it? Was it pause next? No, pause or third?
Pause is third, last is the bag of treasure.
The water drop. Yeah. So you can see in a 4-player game, it's going to be chaotic. There's going to be a lot of people moving around within the environment, and it won't all be buttons. It'll be levers. It'll be a bit more ambiguous than just reading out what the clip art is. But you get the basic idea. There is a ton of art that we can't show because we do have 140 individual assets that we're having to use clip art for right now. We've got a lot of those assets in process, the replacement assets that we're going to use in the game. However, they're not all ready. So we're going to wait a few weeks to show that until next sprint. Yeah, I think that's it.
Wow, another round of applause. Everybody hit the executable. Thank you. All right, we're going to go ahead and stop our streaming.